Hello, Beth Tefillah. I hope all is well. This coming Shabbos, we will be reading a double Torah portion, and the second parsha is the parsha of Balak. Now, the two antagonists in the parsha, both Bilam and Balak, were magicians. In addition, you have Bilam's seemingly magical talking donkey. So in honor of these, I would like to show you a magic trick that I've been working on for a while. Now you see me? Now you don't. And I'm back. Whew, that was close. I almost got lost in the abyss. I actually don't want to talk to you about the parsha today, but rather to tell you something personal. It's a little bit of a secret. Balak is actually my bar mitzvah parsha. 26 years ago, which I guess is 2 bar mitzvahs ago, on June 25th, 1994, I celebrated my bar mitzvah in a small shul in Boston. Please don't tell anyone that Balak is my bar mitzvah parsha, because I've learned that people assume that you never make a mistake when you read your bar mitzvah parsha. So there's a little bit of pressure on me this weekend, but please don't tell anyone. There's a member of our shul who grew up at the same shul in Boston, although it was in a different location. And he told me that he remembers, I think this was in the 60s, that a ritual director was terminated because he was caught stealing from the pushka. Why is everyone looking at me like that? I've been saying for years that Beth Tefillah's pushka has a hole in the bottom, but nobody listens to me. That ritual director was replaced by a Rabbi Margolis, who actually, remember, he died at the age of 99. And Rabbi Margolis became more popular as the ritual director than the rabbi. So they replaced the rabbi with the ritual director. None of you have to worry. That will never happen at Beth Tefillah. So I want to tell you a little bit about my bar mitzvah. I received a cassette tape recording from our shul's Torah reader, who's a phenomenal Torah reader, about a year before my bar mitzvah. And I learned it in 2 months, and then I didn't practice for the next 10 months. So I actually made a couple mistakes at my bar mitzvah, and it was so embarrassing that I vowed to never read Torah again. Well, that didn't really work out for me. Now, my shul had a policy that the kiddush food had to either come from a caterer, which my parents didn't want to pay for, or had to be cooked in the shul's small, old, out-of-date kitchen. So my mother chose the latter. Now, my mother also chose to give birth to my youngest sister, Elisheva, 6 months before my bar mitzvah. Therefore, I got stuck holding my sister for many, many hours while my mother cooked for my bar mitzvah. Now, a year and a half later was my brother's bar mitzvah, and you would think that my brother would have to watch and take care of my little sister. Wrong. My parents decided that I had so much experience in this realm that I had to do it all over again. Now, if you think that my brother was forced to give 10 or 20% of the proceeds of his bar mitzvah to me, you are wrong again. But Mom, if you're listening to this, the food was excellent, and I think we might even have some potato kugel left over from 26 years ago if anybody wants it. They say potato kugel ages very nicely. Now, many of my friends had parties the day after their bar mitzvahs. The day after my bar mitzvah was known as the 17th of Tammuz, which was a fast day. God was saying to me, welcome to the joys of Jewish adulthood. Now, don't eat for the next 18 hours. 1.5 years later, my brother got to celebrate his post-bar mitzvah party at Shalom Hunan, which was one of the local kosher restaurants in Boston. And some extra relatives came, and he actually made some extra money off of them. Now, do you think that he gave me 10 or 20% of that money? Not a chance. My father wrote my bar mitzvah speech. He's a good speaker and writer, and he decided to talk about a topic that's relevant to that time of year, which is also this time of year. I personally thought that because he wrote it, he should have to deliver it also, but apparently it doesn't work that way for bar mitzvahs. I'd like you to hear how I sounded at my bar mitzvah. Thank you for coming to my bar mitzvah. It's such an honor to see all of you. Well, hopefully my voice wasn't that high, but I actually do want to read you a small part of what I said. I spoke about the phenomenon of accepting an early Shabbos. So this is what I said. If most of the Jewish community accepted Shabbos upon themselves, the minority must also accept Shabbos even against their will. By the way, I'm reading from my actual bar mitzvah speech. The Mishnah Berurah says that if most of the community was not present at this early minyan, then the rest of the people need not accept Shabbos early. Likewise, in a community with many minyanim, such as Baltimore, one minyan cannot force attendees of another minyan to accept Shabbos early. Even if one of these many minyanim is attended by most of the townsfolk, those who attend the other minyanim need not accept Shabbos early along with the largest minyan. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein discusses the following occurrence. If a husband davens at an early minyan on Friday, but there are other minyanim in town, and some of those shuls schedule davening later on Friday nights, must the wife also accept Shabbos early along with her husband, even though she did not attend the early minyan, or may she light candles later on at the proper time? His conclusion is, there is a mitzvah fulfilled by accepting Shabbos early. This mitzvah of adding on to Shabbos is a mitzvah from the Torah rather than from the rabbis. Therefore, if the husband habitually makes an early Shabbos throughout the year in fulfillment of this mitzvah, then the act becomes classified as one of the customs of the husband, as one of the religious customs that the wife is obligated to follow. It goes on, but I won't bore you with the details. So to tie it back into the Parsha, it was a very magical bar mitzvah, and I was quite an annoying kid, so I'm sure there were times that my parents hoped that I disappeared into the abyss. Anyway, take care, everyone.